Hey everybody, welcome to a live stream discussion and review of It. Hi Chelsea, this is Chelsea.
Hi.
My girlfriend. You've seen her on streams before. She's here with me to talk about It, which we just got back home from. Literally just walked in the door from the theater. So we're going to live stream this discussion. It'll also live on this channel afterward as a permanent video. So if you're watching this in the future, you missed out, but that's okay. You're here now, and we have a chat going, so we're going to be paying attention to them as well as having our own thoughts. So we're going to open with no spoilers. So if you want to see this movie and not get spoiled, probably a short discussion.
Yeah, I think the first few minutes will just, kind of general, no spoilers.
Yeah. As far as our experience.
Oh, you put 2007 in the thumbnail.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. It'll save it. I changed it. It'll be all right now.
We fixed it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, guys, I know it's 2007. All right, that's right. I fixed it. It's okay. As far as our experience with this property goes, I edited my kill count episodes for the miniseries, so I've experienced that a lot. I've seen that a lot, and you watched that with me.
Mm-hmm. And I saw it. I mean, I saw the miniseries.
Yeah, we both saw it when we were
I was
kids.
young.
But Chelsea listened to the audiobook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I finished the book like a couple weeks ago, and I loved it. Like, I just fell so hard for this book. I think it's amazing, and it's just one of my favorites now.
Yeah, she continually talks about it.
Yeah, it's
and
amazing.
Just raves for it.
So I was very excited for this movie because I think the miniseries is fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's 80s. I think it's dated, and it's not as scary as it could be because it was made for TV.
Yeah.
Tim Curry's great, but new Pennywise is so different that I don't even think you can say one's better than the other. They're just different.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's have our spoiler-free discussion. Again, this probably won't last too long because we want to get into the spoilers. But in broad terms, I think it's obvious to tell we both enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I think it's awesome. Like, I think any complaints I have are little things. I just think in general, it's really, really good. It is scary as fuck. I thought it was really scary.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah.
I will admit I wasn't as scared as I wanted to be, but I think I'm just a hard person to scare.
I think so.
I think I'm a pretty tough person to scare.
Yeah.
Just from being so desensitized with all the movies I've seen. There were parts though that not only there are a ton of jump scares in this movie.
Yeah, the whole thing's jump scares.
Yeah.
If you hate jump scares, and I hate jump scares, so I think that's why I was on edge the entire time and was really scared the whole time, is because I hate jump scares, and the whole time you just know they're coming.
Yeah.
So if you don't like being startled, I wouldn't recommend this movie.
Yeah, there are a bunch of good jump scares, but there are also moments where like I just felt chills down my back a little bit. There
Yeah.
one in particular that I'm thinking of.
It's very creepy. It's so much scarier than the miniseries.
Yeah, the miniseries has some creepy moments, but this is scary.
This is really scary. It's creepy. Gory, yes.
And I saw someone ask, yeah, is it PG-13 or R? It's a
R.
hard
It's
R.
a hard R movie.
Hard R, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing. The kids are fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so good.
All of the kid actors are so good.
Especially, oh no, I want to give her credit and say her name.
It's Sophia Lillis, I want to say, is her name.
The girl who plays Beverly.
Bev.
She is amazing.
She's amazing. I think Sophia Lillis,
yes.
yeah. She's going to be famous. She's going to have a very long career ahead of her. She is like watching an adult acting in a kid's body. It's like she is awesome. I mean, all of them are
all of them are great.
Like,
yeah.
I even liked Richie, and a lot of people, I think Richie's the highlight, just in terms of reviews
he's
I've been
fucking
reading.
hilarious.
He's very funny.
Yeah. That's from Stranger Things. What's it? Finn Wolfhard. Wolfhard. How'd you get that name, Finn? Finn Wolfhard.
That's a
what?
cool name.
That's a badass name, man. That's a Star Wars character name.
Yeah.
Someone says Henry Bowers was wasted in this film.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that when we get into spoiler
Well, we can
territory.
say spoiler free. He was scary. I think scarier than Greaser, than Danny Zuko. Henry Bowers.
So he's a character that shows up in the miniseries, and he's a really important character in the book. But he is, I think, very scary in the book, and you don't get that at all in the miniseries. But he's an actual villain.
He's also, he looks like Joe Dirt.
He does.
He looks a lot like Joe Dirt in this movie. But that doesn't make him less scary.
Phenomenal McClane. Yeah, the kids feel like real people. And
Definitely.
I believe that they are all best friends and that they love each other. And I think that's one of the things I loved so much about the book is how much those kids cared about each other.
And I think that one of the things that helped them feel like real kids for me is the R rating enabling them to swear. Because lots of F-bombs, especially Richie, and like that's how fucking kids talk, man.
Age.
Yeah, for sure they do. And like Richie making all these your mom jokes,
Yeah.
like those were my friends growing up. Like just people, giving each other a hard time. And yeah, the kills were all different. Then that's starting to get into spoilers. Any other spoiler-free stuff to say? It's 2 hours 15 minutes.
It's long.
But it doesn't feel long.
No, it doesn't feel long, but it's long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it definitely I wasn't ever waiting for it to end. It's been great.
Yeah.
It was great.
I guess in general, it's really good. It is very scary. For me, I thought it was scary. Not the scariest you've ever seen. Probably not the scariest I've ever seen, but
no, I've seen you much more scared.
It doesn't let up the whole time.
You were grabbing my arm pretty tight for a while.
I was leaning on you the whole movie.
Yeah, I didn't mind.
Very, very, very scary.
All right, so let's talk about spoilers for the movie.
Finally.
Okay, so now we're going to shift into talking about movie spoilers. So if you want to see this movie and you don't want to get spoiled, you should probably leave now, come back later after you've watched it. We will talk about stuff that happens in the miniseries.
Yeah.
But we won't talk about stuff that didn't happen in either movie, but happened in the book, right?
Yeah,
We'll save that for
later,
the very end
I
in
have
case.
a lot of thoughts about the book and where I think the next movie, fingers crossed that they make the next movie, where that one's going to go. I think they will. I think this movie's going to make bank this weekend.
I hope so. I really hope it does. I mean, I feel like it's been killing it with the marketing. It's done a lot of like viral stuff. The trailers. Wasn't the trailer like the most watched trailer ever when it was released? Like the first trailer?
It was the most watched movie trailer.
So, we won't get into specific book stuff just in case you're planning on reading the book. We'll save that for the very end. So now, movie only spoilers. Dude, that garage scene. That was the best. That was the highlight for me.
Okay, I want to try and go semi-chronologically.
Oh, okay.
Because so much happened. I don't want to jump around and forget stuff. Especially since, like, the beginning was so scary and set the tone for the whole movie.
Oh, with
Georgie.
Yeah, so we jump right into it with Georgie. And, yeah.
So... Sorry, I'm getting just. I'm like
so it takes place.
I don't know how you don't get distracted when you.
It's a little distracting, yeah.
So
it takes place in the 80s instead of the 50s.
The
right?
50s. So book and miniseries, the kids' timeline takes place in the 50s, and the adult timeline is in the 80s. Which I think it makes sense to update it and have because I think. The book came out in the 80s, so in the 80s there was a big 50s nostalgia period, like in general. That's why you get movies like Back to the Future, Grease, like stuff like that. It was like 50s nostalgia. the same way that right now we have like intense 80s nostalgia. We have stuff like
Yeah.
Stranger Things and Ready
Everything
Player
is
One's
80s.
coming out. Like everything's 80s.
I don't mind it. I don't mind the stuff
Yeah,
that's
it's fun.
influenced by the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so it's cool. It's a different feel, but I don't think it changed anything necessarily. And
I think it's necessary to be more relatable because, well, you know what? I don't want to be dancing around book and spoiler stuff. Okay, we might mention book stuff, okay? What we won't say is stuff that takes, because I'm barring her from telling me these things that didn't happen in either the miniseries or this movie that happened in the book. So, like, stuff that happened in the book that may or may not be in the next movie that wasn't in the miniseries. Don't tell me any of that stuff. Okay? Because I want to be surprised by some stuff. But if it happened in the miniseries or if it happened in the stuff in the book that was covered by this movie, we can discuss it. Because the reason I wanted to do that is because you made a really good point on the way out of the theater. You said the things that the kids were scared of were changed from the books.
Yeah.
For instance, in the books, Patrick is scared of Frankenstein.
It's not. It's like one of the bullies. He's afraid of leeches, I think.
Oh, okay.
But one of the bullies is afraid of Frankenstein and gets killed by Frankenstein. Richie's afraid of werewolves. Like they're all like old school.
So like Richie in the book, just like in the miniseries, is afraid of werewolves. But like you said, no kid in the 80s would be afraid of a werewolf.
That'd be like, like kids today being afraid of exclusively like Freddy Krueger. You know?
Yeah.
It like maybe, but that's not like the essence of what kids are afraid of today.
Yeah.
So if you're making the movie set in the 80s, you need to change what the kids are afraid of because they wouldn't be afraid of Universal's classic movie monsters. Like it's just not realistic.
But like 1960, sure.
Yeah. So all the scare, which threw me off because I think part of the reason I wasn't as freaked out going to see this is because I had read the book and I knew what all the scares were, but then the movie starts going, all the kids start to see Pennywise and how he like manifests for them, and I was like, oh no, these are all different. I felt so taken off guard and I hated it. I felt very vulnerable.
I see people asking / talking about Georgie's death. So spoilers, that shit's on screen. He gets his arm ripped off on screen.
His arm just straight up gets ripped off.
Yeah.
And it's really awful. And he's crying and like dragging himself away with this one. And he's a little kid. He's like 5.
He's a 5 year.
And he's super cute.
Yeah.
And then like Pennywise's arm,
the arm just stretches out and
pulls
grabs
him
him
into the storm drain.
And I loved his teeth. Someone's asking about why his mouth is so big with all the sets of teeth. Is like lips peel back.
Peels back.
And there are like rows of teeth. And I think it just really drives home the like, oh, he's not just a clown. There's like something going on under that because you start to see like the skin come off and you start to see what's underneath.
I got more of a feeling in this one than the miniseries captured that Pennywise isn't human.
Yeah.
He really feels like something wearing a clown skin, and it doesn't feel like he's a clown that can turn into other stuff. He's like a thing that mostly appears as a clown but also appears as other stuff because his eyes are even like,
oh, that's the best.
They even like, they're slightly like cockeyed and they go like in different directions, so it's just even like when you first see him in the storm drain and he's kind of like, he's like nice Pennywise, his eyes are still like slightly
I wasn't even
off.
sure if
I thought I was imagining it and I was like, something's weird, but I love it.
So if you want to go chronologically, I mean, I have the summary up here on Wikipedia. So the Georgie scene, which is a great way to open that film. And, the whole time I'm just comparing it to the miniseries because I know it so well by now. And it's like, oh, no funeral as opposed to, like, no body. Like, Bill's still looking for that body, building little sewer system.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Him, like, building like the model of the sewer out of hamster.
I'm sorry. Trev Dork is saying the cockeyed look wasn't CGI. The
That,
actor was
that
actually.
Bill Skarsgård is able to make his eyes look
Well,
all
our
fucking
buddy
creepy.
Dave from Practical Folks, Drunk Disney, he can
do that. Carrie can do that too.
Yeah, that's great. What a great skill to have. Yeah. Yeah, if you're just stopping by for a quick one-line summary, it's great.
It's really good.
Go see it.
It's really good. It's really scary. I liked it.
Yeah. If you like scary stuff, go see it. So, check that out. So, yeah, we start to meet the kids. We see them in school, and it's not just like a classroom like in the miniseries. We actually see them like in school. And it felt pretty real, right? Yeah. Got I mean, they're 80s kids now instead of like greasers and 50s cliques and cliches and stereotypes. You get like some 80s. Bev is like smoking cigarettes. Bev is how is she in the book?
She smokes in the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because in the miniseries, she's like a very quiet, bookish girl.
No.
So
she's much closer to the book in the movie. In this new movie.
Interesting. So the miniseries kind of
yeah, she
demurred her a little.
Yeah, she's like a much more proper lady in the miniseries.
Yeah.
I think. And no, this movie's a lot closer to how her character actually, like, she smokes and she
flirts with the pharmacist.
Well, yeah, she doesn't do that, but she's flirty and she's kind of like cocky and brassy and
oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So I liked this take on her a lot.
Yeah, just can't say enough good things about her. She's so great. But her dad, her scary dad.
Jesus, the dad.
So here's another thing so miniseries dad is abusive physically. Yeah. And protective, like overprotective of her. Then I asked you while we were watching the miniseries, I was like, is there anything like more in the book?
No, but it's heavily implied that the reason that he's physically abusive is that he is attracted to her and he takes out that anger that makes him feel on her. Like I think he blames her for making him feel those feelings. Yeah. This is like much more explicit, so if that kind of stuff bothers you, I don't see it. It's pretty heavy-handed in this, and there's a lot of really nasty.
I know you got Meme Boy over here saying in the book Bev's dad tries to rape her. Is this true?
I don't remember that. Like he beats her, but I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering. Yeah, but possible. It is like that's there. Like those undertones are there. That character has a really negative association with like sex and how adults use it, but I think the movie makes it a lot more explicit. This movie is a lot more explicit to the point where it's possibly implied that he had previously like raped her. That's like, are you still my little girl and stuff, and it's a great moment when she fights back and says no. Did she kill him in the movie here? No. Because I thought I heard him make a noise when Bill like walked in on him and saw him bleeding on the ground. I think I heard him make a noise. Okay. I mean, she doesn't in the book, but it's possible they changed it for the movie, but I think he was still moving a little bit at the end there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. So, she was so nice to Ben. Yeah. That scene was so sweet. And I love Beverly and Ben.
Yeah, that was a great scene for the Ben actor, who I also, I always want to give credit as much as possible. So that actor's name is, well, Ben, oh God, which one is he? It should be obvious. Which one is he? What the hell? I just got pictures, no character names here.
Scroll right.
What? Okay.
I don't know why he's not showing up, but Ben
apparently that's not a real person. It's not a real person.
That's because he's so CG. Cute. No one's that cute. Yeah. Yeah, he's so sweet. Ben was my favorite in the book of all the Losers Club because he's such a sweet little baby. And I love him and Bev and how sweet she is to him. And I like getting his internal monologue in the books, because the movie you see like he obviously has a giant crush on Beverly, but Beverly's like really into Bill, and so you know, in his internal monologue, like you kind of get him thinking like, well, you know, like I really like Bev, but Bill's my friend, and he kind of just accepts it and is never like he's sad about it but not angry, and he's good. He's like just a sweet boy.
Yeah, and you kind of get that here too. I think there's a lot of scenes like just building up to. They don't focus on it in the end when they're all leaving one by one, but I thought it was significant that, like, you know, it comes down to the three of them and then Ben leaves. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's kind of, even though they don't dwell on it or like show him like looking at them, I feel like it's him being like, well, they're going to be together. Like, I'm not the one for her. Mm-hmm. Although later, Ben will get his, who should be adult Ben? Like, who should be sexy
I said
adult
Timothy
Ben?
Oliphant.
Yeah?
Yeah, it should be adult Ben.
Although, funny enough, we also said Chris Pratt could be good, having gone through a similar transformation.
Yeah.
And funnily enough,
we saw him at the movies.
He was at our theater.
Today.
I was getting food, and he was right next to me with a baseball cap and his little kid.
Yeah.
And like the guy behind the counter like shook his hand, was like, I'm a big fan.
Oh man. And then
she was in the bathroom.
Well, I was leaving the bathroom and I see James like kind of far away, and then I see James like going like this. He's like pointing, and I'm like, what? And then I look at this guy walking right past me, and it was Chris Pratt. It was fun. Anyway. Living in LA is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be a good adult Ben. I don't know if I buy him as a dramatic actor.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I don't think he'd
be
pull
distracted.
It off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's good at like. I don't know if he's like leading man. He's funny.
Yeah, funny or action, I guess, nowadays. Oh, while making a delivery, Mike stops outside an old bar. That was the black spot.
It was the black spot? Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
And it's now like the butcher.
Yeah. And so that's like the first time we see Pennywise scare a kid, I think.
Yeah.
Is
I
Mike.
also, Callie, I feel the same. I was a little disappointed that Mike kind of got downplayed.
Mike and Stan.
Although Stan in the books is a little background too. Like, I think he's kind of downplayed. He was always the least prominent.
Yeah.
To me. But
I feel
Mike
like they could have changed that. Oh, but you were saying in the miniseries and the book, Mike's the one who.
Yeah. So the book, Mike is the one who does all the research and kind of figures out like that it happens every 27 years, and he kind of puts all the pieces together. But they have Ben do that, which I understood why, because I think they wanted to show that like Ben's the really sweet bookish kid, and that is like in, you know, the books he's always in the library, like that's where he hangs out. And I think they must have figured while they were writing the script that it was just easier to like, okay, well, we can show him as like the bookish library kid, and that's where he can like start doing research. And
yeah.
It's already, you know, like it makes it for a tighter story, but I'm worried that Mike is gonna be way less important and less prominent in the next one.
Okay, I'm starting to regret having made a passing joking reference to the gangbang in the kill count, because so many people are just spamming is the gangbang.
The gangbang is not in this.
The gangbang is not in
the. It's not in this. It was never going to be in it.
It was never going to be. I even say it in the kill count that it's not going to be in the new one, guys. So like, quit trolling. It's not in it. Also, it's less of a gangbang, more of a train, apparently.
Yeah, they were on a train on Bev.
But it's not in the movie.
It's not in the movie.
Maybe in the next one. Who knows?
Honestly, I could see them doing it in the next one.
With the adults.
With the grown-ups. Yeah, lots of. Well, we'll talk about that later. I guess the turtles.
There are turtles.
There's turtles in the movie, which I think the first time I noticed like a mention of a turtle, I like was like tapping your like I just
and I
was
didn't get,
sitting
when they were
there
swimming
like,
and they were like, I felt a turtle.
I saw a turtle.
Yeah.
And there's another this is one I noticed, and someone online pointed this out to me, but I haven't seen many other people bringing it up in reviews. When Georgie is running down the street,
what, in the first scene?
The very first scene, and he hits his head on like the construction horse thing.
Yeah.
The like little orange construction stands are around this like green it's like a green dome with like sandbags around it, and it looks like a turtle.
Okay.
Which is interesting because that's the thing that causes the boat to like veer off course and go to like the other side of the street where the storm drain is that Pennywise is in.
Huh.
And that's part of it, is like the turtle is kind of like controlling. He's the reason that the kids are like drawn. Like it's all very like destiny, fate. Like he's the force that like makes the kids kind of come together because he's like using them to defeat Pennywise.
Yeah.
So I like that right off the bat. You see what I think is like implied, this like turtle changing the course of like the boat because it gets Bill involved.
Then there's Lego turtle.
And there's the Lego turtle and the turtle in the lake.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you haven't read the book...
If you haven't read the book, this makes no fucking sense.
No, but there's a significant turtle,
There's a turtle.
in the end.
Yep.
Yeah. I barely understand it myself, having not actually read the book. I hope to be able to read the book before the next one comes out. That'd be great.
The audiobook is 40... It's like 42 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long
It went
time.
by fast for me.
Yeah. Let's talk about this. Okay, so similar to the miniseries, each of the kids get spooked, if you will, by
Jesus
Pennywise.
Christ.
So let's talk about each of them. So I think the first one is Mike's, and that's the hands reaching out from like the butcher door.
It's the black spot. Yeah.
Yeah, and then and we find out later that it's like his parents. Or like it reminds him of his parents who were locked in a room during a probably
I think arson.
hate crime.
Yeah, hate
arson.
crime, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the implication is, so the black spot was a makeshift nightclub. In the book, it's in like the 20s.
Thanks, Danny.
I think it's like post-war. And it's like all the black people in town have to make this makeshift nightclub because they're not allowed in the other establishments in town. And one night while the club is super crowded, white supremacist group burns down the club, and those are like the hands that Mike is seeing like claw out of the door. It's implied that his parents were also killed in like a hate crime and arson.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the story of the black spot scares him so much because it reminds him of what happened to his parents.
Yeah. So that's like the first scare, and then Pennywise is like hanging out in the back in the butcher thing. This one didn't do too much for me, like scaring me wise.
Oh, and he's like hanging in the back, and he like drops to the floor.
Yeah.
No, it was creepy. His like eyes.
His eyes glow. That was cool.
And he's like waving.
And then he almost gets hit by the car.
I just was scared of everything. But yeah, I think if I had to like rank the scares, maybe that one's lower.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
There's the library with Ben.
That's
a good one. That's a fun one because he sees the eggs, like the burnt eggs from the Easter hunt fire or explosion or something.
There was a fire. There was an Easter egg hunt that was by this like the Public Works, I think. And there was a big explosion that killed a bunch of kids that were like doing an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that like started another cycle of Pennywise coming back. So it was on another like 27-year mark.
Yeah.
So Ben sees one of the fucking kids with no head.
With no head, because the head was in the tree. Like,
Yeah.
and when it like went in on that was cool. And then turns into Pennywise, chases him through like the library. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Because I'm remembering there's a detail where in the book when Mike is, because parts of the book are like Mike's diary, and he talks about the research he's done about dairy, which is why it's frustrating that Mike isn't the one who got to be that character. But so you have Mike's diary, and he talks about the Easter explosion and how there is someone who like they find body parts in like trees and stuff because it's an explosion. So that was like a cool nod.
Yeah, the headless body was a little choppy. I'll agree with whoever said that. Dazed.
Oh, I liked it though.
I didn't hate it
Because it was just so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't feel as real. On that note, Pennywise, when he runs at someone, does the whole Jacob's Ladder head crazy thing. Didn't really like it at first. Grew to kind of like it.
I liked it.
You liked it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was cheesy. I think the first time it happened, I was like, I didn't expect that. But I ended up liking, I think it was most effective like in Bill's basement, which is a great scene.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
But
I also, Tyler, yeah, some of the CG definitely was choppy, like the leper. I will say the leper was low for me also on the scare. Because you said it was
I'm very upset. I was expecting that to be the scariest one. Although, granted, it was the scariest for me in the book, but that's because it was competing against stuff like Frankenstein and a werewolf. And the leper, just, I think by default, is the scariest because also in the book, it's not even like the first time that Eddie sees the leper at that house is not Pennywise. It's like an actual homeless guy who tells Eddie that he'll like suck his cock for like a nickel, and it's very creepy and very sexual. And then Pennywise appears as the leper and is saying those same things to Eddie and is even more sexual, and it scared me. It was like disturbing, so that's why I was like, that part's gonna be scary as fuck, and it wasn't. I mean, it was still scary, but it like compared to the other scares, not so much.
What other?
It's gory.
It is. It's bloody. Yeah, it's for sure bloody.
It's not like body horror, but it's gory.
Yeah, it's not like The Thing up in there, but it's got. I mean, you get an arm torn off. You get Pennywise gets pretty fucked up. Gets a spear through the head. Tyler, why the hell did Penny grow crab claws to scare the kids? I mean, I think that was Spider Crab. I think that's his.
Because he's not a spider.
I should have said Spider Crab in the kill count.
It's the like.
Because he's crab. He's lots of crab.
He's like
kind of spider.
It's not that he is like actually a spider. It's more like a spider's the closest that human beings can get to like seeing what he really looks like. Like he's beyond our comprehension.
Yeah.
And so a spider is just like the closest thing to his actual form that humans can like process.
Yeah.
So that's what that is.
Stan's scare is the painting in his synagogue.
Oh, I loved that.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot.
Yeah, that was good because, I mean, it's always fun. Like, you put the painting back up and, the thing's gone. Where is it?
Yeah.
But you made a good point. That's the painting's the type of thing that a kid's going to be afraid of.
That would be if
like, he walks in, like, not looking at it. He's afraid of it. Like, it's something he's afraid of.
I related to that a lot. Because creepy faces scare me. That's why scary movies about, like, demons.
Sinister.
Yeah, like Sinister.
Spooky
Fuck
face.
that shit. And, like, just creepy faces and, like anything like that. I feel like that would be my fear if I was a kid and it is, like, a painting or something like it.
Yeah.
Or it's just a creepy image. I just feel like if I was like, what it reminded me of is I was really scared when I was a kid of those like scary stories to tell in the dark books.
Yeah,
with the really
those
scary
are the best
pictures and like those scare the shit out of me. Pennywise for me would be like one of those drawings in that book.
Yeah.
So I related to that.
So the scene where the bullies ambush Ben is closer to the book because he actually carves the H into his belly. And that happens. They weren't about to show that on ABC in 1990, but it does happen here. It just adds to the like Henry's fucking scary in this.
Henry's really scary.
He's Psycho Joe Dirt, man.
Yeah.
And then he has an extra bully friend who is in the book.
Yeah.
And you said that in the book that guy's scary.
That guy's Patrick Hofstadter is scary as fuck in the book. And when I realized that the one bully was supposed to be Patrick, I was like, oh shit, they're gonna do stuff with this guy. This guy's fucked up. Like, he is even more fucked up than Henry Bowers. But then, no, they just kind of kill him.
Because you said he tortures animals and shit.
Yeah, he has like a broken refrigerator in the woods that he keeps like animal corpses. What he does is he like kidnaps live dogs and cats and puts them alive in the fridge and then they suffocate in there.
Oh, fuck.
He like comes and checks in on them every couple of days and just like watches them die slowly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Tell them about the scene you told me on the way home.
Yeah, so also Patrick,
because I saw someone say when you were telling this story, the leper with Eddie, which that was the first time I had heard of that.
Yeah.
Someone was like, "This book's too sexual."
It's really sexual. Patrick and Henry. There's a scene where Bev is in like the quarry. I forget why she's there by herself. I think it's right after she runs from her dad. She runs away from her dad, if I'm remembering right, and then she ends up in the quarry, and she sees Patrick and Henry. Patrick's like, "Hey, let me show you this thing. It feels really good. I'll do it to you," and like basically gives them a hand job, and is like, "Yeah, this feels great." And Henry, I think Bev can see like Henry is like maybe into it, but then Henry's like, "No, like I'm not into that queer shit, man." Blah blah blah. And then Bev is scared, and it's terrifying because she's like, "Oh my god, if they see that I saw this, I'm dead. Like they will kill me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's
he
really
wasn't quite,
sexual.
I mean, it's King. King is creepy and sexual, and that's probably why I was drawn to him as a kid.
That doesn't happen in the movie.
That does not happen in
but
this
when
movie.
I saw Patrick Hockstetter show up, I was like,
will it?
I thought maybe we were gonna see his fridge of dead animals, but no.
Yeah, Patrick's all like, "No, man, it's good. No homo."
You know, yeah.
But yeah, instead Patrick just gets killed by some zombie kids in
Yeah.
the sewer. I like that when he goes to get out of there, it's like barred.
Yeah.
He's like trapped in the sewer.
And there is a scene where Henry and his buddies are like about to torture a cat. They don't.
Oh yeah, they almost
they
shoot
get
at the
stopped.
cat.
So if you're watching the movie and
there's no
animals that get hurt,
which
like,
is good.
Yeah, there's like a kitty and you think that's gonna get hurt and it doesn't get hurt.
But yeah, Patrick dies pretty early on, and there are leeches in the book.
He dies via leeches.
Okay.
In the book.
Bev's bloody bathroom was fun.
Yeah,
that
Tyler,
great.
the I Heart Dairy balloon.
That was that
which
was a nice
made me
touch.
very happy because that doesn't make an appearance in the miniseries, but it did here in a different context.
Oh, does that happen in the book? And
yeah,
I heard
it's like that's a thing.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, how old are the kids here? Are they supposed to be 11 or 12, or are they like
they're
13,
a little
14?
older. I think they're like 13, 14.
Yeah, it felt like they were like.
I think they
young
aged them up. I think they Game of Thrones all the kids. They're like a little older.
And that felt well here. Like Bill's actor is 14.
Yeah.
So that feels right. I'm not gonna go through and click all of them, but you know what? I wish that they had they get into another rock fight.
Oh jeez.
I wish that they kind of made it more serious, like as far as the effects. Because Richie gets hit in the fucking face with a rock, and then he's fine afterward. And I'm sorry, I didn't participate in rock fights as a kid. I missed out on that
You could
weekend.
kill someone.
Right? You could kill someone, or at least like give them brain damage or some shit like that. Like here, they're just getting hit in the head with multiple rocks, and then they're fine.
Yeah.
And that seems wrong to me. Because in the mini series they're throwing right and they're like hitting them in the body and it looks like they're all like kind of weak throws and shit. But in this one, like
they all just get hit.
Yeah,
in the
like
heads.
metal music starts playing and they're like whipping them. And then there's even like that slow-mo shot of Belch being like, "Fuck you, bitch."
Yeah.
And so for me, the rock fight, rocks don't hurt that much, Bree. They're what?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. So for me, the rock fight in this one felt off compared to the rest of the movie.
Yeah, sure.
And I do think it was better in the original. It felt more real.
Yeah.
It just like he got hit in the fucking face with a rock really hard, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bloody bathroom was awesome.
That was really cool. That felt like Stephen King.
Yeah, the tape measure was great.
Mm-hmm.
Putting it down, it's like 25 feet, and then when she pulls it out, it's like cut off, like eaten off, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was I gonna say? Oh, I liked the like blood in the sink and kind of tying it to like she's shopping for tampons earlier, and there's more of like an explicit tie to like kind of body horror and like menstrual horror, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, the tampon scene, I thought, like, obviously I've never been through that experience, but I imagine
so many tampons.
and just like the embarrassment. I mean, I'm trying to relate it to like the first couple times I would go and buy condoms. It's
I think buying condoms is weirder than buying tampons.
Well, sure, yeah.
Tampons, I don't really give a fuck. Like,
it was never embarrassing when you first start, because like this girl was probably first.
When I first started, I wasn't the one doing the grocery shopping.
Well, you didn't have an abusive, negligent.
Yeah,
dad,
I didn't have to like buy my own tampons because. Yeah.
But I imagine if you had, it would probably be awkward.
Yeah, I guess.
Especially with a stranger old guy who's
it's like a male cashier,
on you.
Sure.
That was creepy. The pharmacist. Yeah. Ew.
I liked that they really drove home that all the adults in this world are like not figures that you can trust or look up to protect you.
Yeah.
All of them are creepy or so damaged that it's like the kids kind of have to take care of themselves and can't trust any of the grown-ups.
And like you said, how in the book the whole sex scene happens because that's Bev's understanding of how sex is.
Yeah.
And like you get some of that with the pharmacist.
Yeah,
that she
like
uses.
using sex as like a transaction.
Yeah. I don't know why people are just obsessed with kills and are asking how many people died, how did this person die. Belch and Vic don't die in this movie.
No.
Which I thought which was surprising because they do in the book.
Yeah, we just like don't. I mean, they kind of run off after the rock fight and then we don't see him again.
No, they're with him when he wants to shoot the cat. And then his dad like shoots at the ground and they're like, "Are you all right?" And then he gets his knife in the mail, which does happen in the book, right? Mm-hmm. He gets gifted the knife, and then Henry fucking kills his dad. Yeah. Which also happens in the book. Mm-hmm. But after that we don't see them.
Yeah.
Which I thought, I don't know, Belch was definitely sidelined here. Mm-hmm. In this movie. He only belched once.
Yeah.
That's hashtag not my belch.
Yeah.
My belches all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler says there's a scene that was cut when where the bullies die, but apparently it was too violent. I'm very curious.
Give it to us.
Yeah, I want to know how that happened.
I'm curious how that would have edited in, though, because you only see Henry sitting in the car when they're going into the house. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which Pennywise is better? They're different.
They're so yeah. I'm not even gonna say which one. Oh, Henry killed them. Tyler said in this deleted scene.
Oh, interesting.
I would have watched that.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's fucked up. This movie's fucked up. Let's go all the way.
Sure.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see where we at. There's the Georgie scene in the basement. You noted that he was being played like a puppet. I didn't see that.
That might have been the scariest little. No, the projection scene was.
The projection scene is the best.
Yeah. So Bill goes down into the cellar, which both him and Georgie are like afraid of. Which, like, that makes sense. I was afraid of my basement growing up.
You run up the stairs.
You turn off the lights and you
run up the stairs. Yeah.
Every kid.
And if there's a door up there, you close it.
Every kid is afraid of the basement. Yeah, we're not. We'll go back to the garage.
Oh, don't worry. We'll go back to that garage. That was our favorite.
Yeah. So he goes into the cellar or the basement and he sees Georgie and is like, "You'll float too, you'll float." And he like starts decomposing. And then you see Pennywise. And I noticed that Pennywise is like holding up Georgie and like he's got him like a ventriloquist puppet.
That's great.
So fucking
He just fucking
creepy.
drops him. Yeah.
And he just drops him in the water and ugh.
Yeah, Oh, okay. So that makes sense why they showed when Georgie is saying "You'll float too," they show Pennywise saying it. I thought they were just saying it together, but no, he was okay.
Yeah, he's using him like a puppet.
Yeah, that was a good one. So after that, they finally are like, "Yeah, we all saw the clown." Richie's like, "What? Do only virgins see him?"
Only virgins see the.
Dude, Richie's fucking hilarious.
Richie's really good.
Yeah,
Richie's probably better than the book even.
Well, because you said in the book he's a little racist.
Richie's, yeah, because it's the 50s and like. Kid in the 50s who's grown up with like Bob Hope and like who are other like old school comedians.
Jerry
Lewis, you know,
yeah,
just
yeah.
like racist humor and
Yeah.
racist voices. There's a lot of that in them.
Yeah, but here he's just fucking raunchy and like what is it about Eddie's mom's vagina?
Eddie's mom, yeah, and the how dare used to be a beaver trading post.
Yeah, it still is, right?
Am I right?
Yeah, the great Molly Ringwald joke.
That was funny.
Perfect
Yeah.
Molly Ringwald joke. I also got the sense, and I picked up on this from just reading stuff online, that in the book that Eddie and Richie kind of have a special relationship, and
Yeah.
I don't really get that in the miniseries that much. Definitely felt it here.
Yeah.
Those two
They're
were
really
so
close
great. The back and
friends.
forth is so fucking great.
They're so cute, and I love them.
They just give each other so much shit, and I love it. And they're perfect foils for each other. Richie just this like jerk off fucking clown.
Yeah.
And Eddie this like super neurotic.
Eddie gives his mom a kiss goodbye, and Richie's like, "Do you all want from me too?"
I would have been the Richie. I think.
I think
in a
so.
friend.
I
would've
think
been
you're the Richie.
I would just, yeah.
I'm such an Eddie. I'm like hypochondriac,
I
which
had
I guess
Eddie
makes
friends.
our
Yeah.
relationship make sense.
Oh yeah, we're our own Richie and Eddie.
Yeah.
Aw,
Yep.
beep beep baby.
Yep.
Or-
I mean, you use my inhaler for the it kill count.
That's right. Her inhaler is in the background of the It kill count. No one really noticed it. It's
It's because it's so tiny.
It's because everyone's focused on the balloon and the paper boat. Yeah. Garage scene?
Garage scene.
Garage scene. I'm mad that this was in the trailers. I understand why it was, because like
no, I wish it wasn't.
it's
in
one of the
trailer.
earliest scenes where they all accept that Pennywise is there and they're all together as a group. It's a good group shot of them, so it makes sense to have it in the trailer. But there's enough that wasn't in the trailer for it to still be scary, I think.
Yeah.
Because in the trailer you get the hair and the pretty Pennywise, right? Mm-hmm. Which is still creepy. And then,
But then it falls, and I'm thinking like, oh, that's the end of that, because we saw it in the trailer. But no, it keeps clicking.
yeah, it keeps getting like slower, and then and then it's like it does the whole like black and then on, and then like black and then on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so inside I should audition for Grown Up
Oh
Richie.
man. No, they gotta be like.
Oh yeah,
Let's
they're
see if
way
it's every
older.
27 years, and they're like 13 in
So
this.
like 40 something.
Yeah, they gotta be
yeah.
like 40.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But then he comes out of the fucking.
Yeah,
Oh.
so like the projector like clicks off, and then he pops out. I don't know how to describe it.
He's huge. He's so big. He's so big.
Yeah, he like pops out of the screen, and he's gigantic, and it scared the shit out of me.
So good. It's such a good scare.
I just wasn't expecting that to happen.
You
It
think he's
fucked
gonna
me
come
up.
out? I thought like a hand would come out like in the photo album in the miniseries.
Yeah.
But no.
Or that he would like be standing in front of the screen.
Yeah.
But no, he just is huge. And it's so scary.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene.
That was my
that's the
favorite.
scene where even before that happens, I was having like chills down my spine.
Yeah.
As like the projecting images were going on. I was like, "Oh, cool. I'm creeped out right now."
Yeah.
And then it hits you with that big jump scare at the end, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
So, let's see, where are we at? Where are we at in this story? Oh, yeah, they go to the house.
The house on Nebold Street.
So the house, so I'm guessing that's a thing in the book.
Yeah.
Is it as prominent as it is in this movie?
Yes.
Is it the same thing? Is it the entrance to the sewer?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's like connected,
Yeah.
but it's not where they go. The entrance where they go in the end for like the big showdown is in the
Barrens?
The Barrens.
So
yeah.
like the miniseries.
Yes.
Okay. Because in the miniseries, the Nebold house is it stands little flashback
to like when
and there's
he
a
first
mummy
saw.
and he's like birds.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's one of the weaker scenes. It's in the second half.
Yeah.
The whole second half.
Actually, they don't show anything like that with the dad and Bev. It's implied, and he's creepy.
Yeah, he's creepy,
But there's no
nudity in the movie.
No, God, and there's no like
explicit.
yeah.
It's all implied.
He
So-
like grabs her legs.
yeah,
and
he like
it's-
kind of pins her down.
Yeah.
and
but
it gets, I was like, where are they going?
The implication is
Yeah.
very creepy, but it's not you know, anything more than that, no.
So they go to the house for the first time, and I thought it was great. And you said that this had a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
They're like exploration of the house.
Yeah, and I'm trying to, because this is when I start to get like, God, what even the fuck happens? Because
Well, they see one of the kids. Oh, you're talking about from the book.
Yeah, just how it's different.
Yeah. I really loved the clown room, mostly because old Pennywise is in there.
Oh yeah, old
You get a little shout out to old Pennywise. He's like a figure. I actually thought I saw him in a portrait in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Early on when Richie enters the room, I saw him like in the back right frame, and then it's much more explicit in a figure of him on the left in the full outfit and regalia.
Yeah, like he's there. You can't miss him.
It's old Pennywise. It's great. I know, phenomenal McLean. I know.
I mean, it's just different from the book in terms of like the scares that are in there and.
But yeah, they're getting isolated. When Richie and Bill are back together and the doors are there.
Yeah, that was like a movie invention that I thought was really good and like a nice moment of levity.
Yeah, just that humor, like scary, very scary, not scary at all.
Not scary at all.
And they just run for that door. I love it.
Yeah, I liked the house scene because you started to get like some of Pennywise, one, having dialogue, and two, getting to be a little funny and getting to have fun. Like when he does his little like walk.
Oh yeah, he does a little jazzy walk to him.
Yeah, he like walks over to Eddie, who does break his arm.
Breaks his arm.
Falls.
Is that in the book?
Yeah, but it's different. He breaks his arm, but it's like a totally different thing. Yeah.
His arm was so broken.
He like falls, and then Pennywise walks over to him and does a little.
And I love the like you said. I'm not real enough for you.
Real enough for God. Yeah.
One of the things I love about that scene is it's in the daytime. Mm-hmm. So rarely do horror movies take place with scary stuff in the daytime because they think that in order for something to be scary, it has to be at night. And to be fair, that's when like you're most prone to be scared. When you're walking around your apartment, it's night. What's that noise? I don't know. But the fact that this has a scary scene in the daytime that is scary, it just makes me respect it all the more. Like, I loved it. Mm-hmm. That it's like daylight outside and it's still creepy-ass fucking Pennywise stalking around doing jazz hands.
Mm-hmm. You don't hear his bone break because he breaks it because he falls on a table.
Yeah,
you
bone
just
break
hear
noise
the table. You hear his whole body just falling onto a table.
But you do get to see Pennywise get a spear through the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bev.
No, through like the face.
Is it the face?
It goes through like here and like out.
I love it.
Yeah.
It was great to see it. I loved how much Pennywise got his ass kicked physically in this.
Oh my God.
Between that and then the final scene where the fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking awesome. Because then, miniseries is just like slingshot, battery acid. What's in the book?
The miniseries is closer in terms of like
the fight.
They get the slingshot with like the silver like makeshift bullets, and then the inhaler.
The inhaler isn't it? I missed the inhaler.
I do too, because a big reason that they're able to defeat him is that they
believe in it.
Yeah, and the reason that they use the silver is because he appears as a werewolf to Richie, and they're like, well, silver bullets kill werewolves, so maybe this will work. And just because they have that idea in their heads, that's why it works. And
in this movie, they do have a moment of that, of like believing in it works, because he shoots the gun that's not loaded.
Yes.
And it still works.
Fires.
So that's cool. But I miss the inhaler, especially because in the miniseries, he does the battery acid slime in the first part. And in the second part is when you learn that it was all placebo medicine. Mm-hmm. I would have loved to see him learn that it's all placebo medicine first, like he does here, and then still decide, no, if I believe in this,
that's how
effective.
It happens in the book. Yeah.
So I missed that.
And it's really sweet.
Yeah, that's a sweet moment. And they don't have a slingshot. They use a gun.
They have a cattle gun. Yeah. Like a livestock. Because, Mike's family's like, he's a farmer.
God, I wish we had just gotten a little bit more
Me
Mike.
too. I'm kind of upset.
Yeah.
I feel like he was a little shoved to the side, which is frustrating because something I loved about the book was that he's so prominent and important. and that kind of sucks that he's just kind of there.
He gets attacked by Henry at the Neibolt house when they go back. Well, that's jumping ahead a little bit because they beat the crap out of Pennywise that first time, and Pennywise runs away. Then they get into that fight outside the house and kind of separate after Eddie's mom takes him home, like leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bev sticks with Bill, and the others kind of abandon him.
Mm-hmm.
And is that similar to the book?
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
Is there ever this little breakup scene?
No.
Okay.
Not really, which is why Bev getting captured by Pennywise didn't bother me as much as it could have, because they have this like rift where the books they don't really.
So yeah, in the movie we have them have a fight, and there's like months go by. It goes like 2 months pass because it happens in June, and then we like join back up with them in August.
Oh.
After there's like a splintering. And in August is when Bev, her dad, like, tries to rape her, and she, like, nails him in the head. That, honestly, that was the biggest jump for me. Because for some reason, I was like, oh, he's going to pull back the shower curtain, the window is going to be open, she's going to be gone. No, he pulls back the shower curtain and gets brained in the head with that fucking toilet lid. And I'm not going to go ahead and say he's 100% still alive.
I think he is.
I think he is, but maybe he's dead. I don't know.
Yeah.
But after that, Pennywise shows up, and that also kind of got me because I just wasn't expecting him at this.
Oh, I'd seen that clip.
Oh, see, that's why I avoid trailers.
Well, because I've been doing like costume research for Pennywise, and that was like one of the. It came up as a GIF, her like turning around, and he's there. So I was like waiting for that the whole time.
Got it. So he kidnaps her. And you said this was the first thing I asked, was this in the books when we got out of the theater? I had assumed it wasn't, and at first when it happens and she's taken away and they're like, we have to go rescue Bev. Yeah. I was just like, damsel in distress?
Yeah.
But then
I think it could be argued that, and we'll talk about everyone's favorite scene, is the big gangbang in the sewers. I think it's a good stand-in for that and for the point that scene makes. So the books, there's no like rift. The only kind of like rift in the group is like after they defeat Pennywise, they're like trying to get out of the sewers, and they start to feel like their connection to each other start to like wane, and they're like, fuck, there's like something supernatural that's kind of like binding them all together, and they're like, oh no, we need to make sure that we're like we're losing our connection to each other. And then Bev is like, I know how we can reconnect, and they all have sex with it's a lot more eloquently plotted in the book. But so the movie, they have it where they get in a rift because everyone's kind of fed up with like Bill's shit.
Yeah.
And so Bev here is used as the thing that like brings them all back together emotionally. So I think it was just it was a way as like Bev is like the conduit for them to like be brought back together. So it's kind of like a nod to that.
Okay.
That plot point.
And it's not like she's taken out of action. We get to see her alone when she comes to in the sewer, and then
I mean, she's the only one who, I mean, she gets the most like intense one-on-one with Pennywise.
Yeah, and she stares him down.
Who's not scared of him? First,
and he has to use his deadlights on her.
Yeah, we get to see the deadlights.
Which would look like a
and she's
one of those like triple bulb LED flashlights.
Yeah, yeah. And she's the one who makes them realize like she isn't able to be killed by Pennywise because she's not afraid of him. So like it made sense. I think it was again like a script choice to make everything flow a little better.
Yeah.
I don't know if I loved the it gets a little damsel tropey, but
then she's back in action.
Yeah, it's very brief, and
yeah.
I liked the touch of Ben being the one to kiss her and bring her back, and I could see someone wondering like, well, why would that work? And it works because that's such a kid thing to believe, is that your true love would kiss you to wake you up and save you. Like true love's kiss is like, that's such a childish thing to believe has power. So it does have power.
Yeah.
And that's why Ben is able to wake her up by giving her a kiss.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very sweet. Yeah.
So yeah, they go back down there. Mike gets attacked by Henry up top before he's able to get down there. Does that happen? Because in the miniseries, they gank Stan and are trying to kill Stan.
Man, this is when like the book starts.
Crazy
It goes
town.
back and forth so much between like adults and kids, and I just like, there's not that like moment with Mike and Henry, although Mike and Henry have a lot more of a relationship in the books because they live by each other. They're both like farmer families, like both their dads are farmers, and Henry's family has like such a vendetta against Mike's family because they're black, and Henry's family is racist, and they kill their dog.
Oh.
It sucks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
sucks.
So they have a lot.
Animal death.
They have a really long-standing like racist feud, and it sucks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they fight, and then Mike throws him down the well, and that's the last we see of Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how?
There's no way he's just dead, right?
No,
he has to come back.
He has
as an
to
adult.
come back. But how?
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have
he
to.
fucking fell down that well.
I
like,
hope he
hardcore.
comes back.
Yeah, I hope he comes back too. I'm assuming he does. Because it would be...
I'm just going to assume he falls into water.
Falls into water.
And like
or
washes
Pennywise
up somewhere.
Turns into a big clowny mattress at the bottom or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they go down there. They find Bev floating. Finally, you'll float down here makes fucking sense.
Yeah.
And you said that's not even in the book. They're in
really.
cobwebs in the
They're
book, like in the miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
But this makes I'm so glad they made those kids float because I was getting so sick of hearing all about how you'll float to. I get it. It's because of the balloons. But Pennywise, I think, just kind of latched onto that one catchphrase.
Yeah.
Not so much in this movie. He didn't even say it to Georgie. You'll float down here, or they all float.
I love the way Tim Curry says that in the miniseries.
Yeah.
You'll float too.
And he says it a lot.
And then the same kind of delivery where he's in the library with Richie, and he's like, "Do you want a balloon? How about a whole bunch?
Try a bunch.
Try a bunch." Oh man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They will probably show a scene showing what happens to Henry. And yeah, I saw people talking. We talked earlier about Vic and Belch and how their roles were downsized. I was disappointed as well.
We talked about the projector scene earlier.
Yeah, we're wrapping it up here because we're at the end. They're in Pennywise's lair. They get Bev down. Ben kisses her. Bill talks to Georgie. It's great. It's emotional. And then, as expected, he's like, "But you're not my brother." And he shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
And then, for about 3 seconds, I was like, What if that was really
that's
Georgie?
What they were gonna do.
And like that would be the most, because like the one thing that kept me from fully buying in was like he got his arm ripped off. You can't just like be walking around sewer fine with your arm ripped off. But what if?
Yeah.
What if they had Bill accidentally kill his fucking real brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what happened. His body starts freaking out, and it's Pennywise. But oh my god, for like 3 seconds, I was like, "Dude, did he just fucking kill George?"
I did too. I thought that
That
was
would've
gonna be
been
like
real
a
messed
fucked up
up.
movie change.
Yeah, I was like, it's a movie. They can do what they want. They don't have to follow the book or the miniseries.
Yeah.
But no, it's Pennywise. There's a lot of transformations. He does like you said, he turns into a mummy briefly to attack Ben.
Yeah, he turns into a mummy, which I thought was a nice little nod. Like, he's like a mummy, and he has like his mummy bandages like unwrap, and then they like grab Ben,
Mm-hmm.
and Ben is the one in the book his fear is mummies.
Oh, yeah, we skipped over when Stan got separated from everyone for a second and got his head gnawed. I thought he was dead right there.
Yeah, I thought they were just killing him.
Yeah, but no, Stan just gets his head nommed down a little bit.
Yeah. By the lady painting.
Yeah, and he doesn't see Pennywise's true form like he does in the miniseries, and does he in the book?
Yeah.
Because in the miniseries, he's like with the greasers, and like bright light Pennywise moves past, and he like sees his true form.
I can't remember if he sees. I don't remember.
Okay.
All these versions now are just like
Yeah, it's
mush.
difficult because
It's hard to keep track.
because the book is similar to the miniseries in that it jumps back and forth between the two timelines, but it's different enough from the miniseries in that Stan's death happens almost immediately in the book, right? In the beginning of the book.
Wait, say that again?
Stan's suicide
happens
in the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
In the miniseries, it happens at the end of the first
end of
half.
the first part, yeah.
And in this, it doesn't happen at all because it's just the kids. We got 3 totally different versions of this story, which I think is great for a story with this much heft to it that the book has. I think it's really interesting that the miniseries can have parts that are from the book that aren't in this movie, and this movie can have parts from the book that aren't in the miniseries.
You could make a third movie.
You could make
that
a third,
has different
yeah.
stuff in it.
Like, that's great. I love that shit, and I can't wait to read the book to get it all at once.
I think you'll love it.
Oh yeah, of course
It's
I'll love
amazing.
it. I love Stephen King, and that's one of his best received books. So, very excited to read it eventually.
I don't know how I'd rate this out of 5. It's hard.
Yeah, I generally avoid giving like quantitative ratings to I used to do it a lot, and then it's just hard for me to be like, that's an 8.5.
Yeah, because it's all like relative.
Yeah, I'd rather discuss qualitatively what's good and what's bad about movies.
Bill Skarsgård's amazing.
Loved him.
I love his Pennywise. Yeah. I think it was such a cool, different take. And like we said earlier, but I love that Pennywise is so inhuman in this one. And it seems like he is definitely some being that's like trying to be a clown, but not quite. Yeah. Like there's like
he's like not quite nailing it.
He's like really off the whole time, and you get immediately that it's like something wearing a clown skin and that it's not actually a clown. And it freaks me out.
I loved it.
I loved it a lot.
Yeah, Pennywise says fear.
Yeah.
Before he goes down, what was that all about?
Fear.
I mean, was that just him being like, "Hey, fear. Could you just fear?
Could you just? It makes you taste. It makes you
way
taste
better. Just fear, please."
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what he is.
Oh yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
He's fear. I don't know. That's pretty much it.
I would like to see it again to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They do their little blood oath. Oh yeah, Bev mentions that she had a vision of them fighting him 27 years later, so that's fun.
Which makes sense because she gets like entranced by the deadlights, and Pennywise is kind of like he doesn't really exist in time proper, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of like supernatural stuff that's gonna kind of come into play.
Yeah.
And for me, it didn't. I could see how it came out of nowhere, that it's like, I saw us as adults, but I think once we see the next movie, that'll make more sense.
Yeah. And I'm very excited. They've been very hush-hush about the production of it, because if they want it to come out in a year, which I'd guess they would want, like, I don't think this is a movie where they're going to try to milk it and have, like, 2 years from now, part 2 come out.
I hope not. I hope it comes out next year.
Yeah, it only makes sense to have part 2 come out a year from now. That means that they've got to be shooting it. Or, like, just about to be. They have to be
ready
shooting
to
it
go.
by now. Yeah.
Like, that's such a quick turnaround for a movie.
For a big budget movie like this, a lot of effects like that, that's a lot of post-production. They got to be fucking shooting this shit now, which means even if they're not shooting it just yet, it has to be casted. and we don't know
I
a
know,
damn
I just
thing.
wanna know.
I just want to know who's who, man.
Yeah.
And I don't. Would you rather have unknown actors or known actors, or do you not care?
I don't really care.
I don't care either.
Whoever's best.
If they're right for the part, I want to see it. Anything else to say about this? I loved it.
I loved it so much.
I very much enjoyed it. I'll definitely get it when it comes out on Blu-ray, and that's the point at which I'll be able to do a kill count, guys.
Yeah, right now a kill count would be very illegal.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I'll just go in the theater and be like,
yeah,
just record the kills. Yeah, guys, I can't do a kill count until it comes out on Blu-ray. But
would a 14-year-old be let in to see it? I mean,
by an irresponsible movie
if you
usher.
went with a grown-up,
If
but
you're, like,
I don't know if I would want to see this when I was 14.
14-year-old me would definitely have watched this.
So I think that's where, like, I was scared very easily.
Yeah.
When I was younger and you weren't. So
Yeah.
I think it's like your mileage may vary.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
although I have been reading, because I was reading the Reddit, like, our movies thread about this movie, and people were saying that, like, they were in the theater and there were just, like, kids there.
Yeah.
Because people don't read and don't look at ratings, and this is an awful
There's
bad.
a clown.
I would not take a child to see this.
Yeah, probably don't take your kid.
Like, I think it's like it would be irresponsible to take like anyone younger than like 12
Sure.
to
Sure.
see this.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Or at least definitely not without seeing it first and then judging whether or not your
Yes.
kids
And like
specifically.
having a talk with your kids about what's gonna happen in it, and it's not real.
Oh, holy shit. The Wikipedia article for this movie is so
I'm excited
long.
to read it.
This is going to be a great read.
I just saw Jonathan Barkin in here.
Oh,
Go
cool.
right.
What?
Down, right there.
What about Jonathan?
Jonathan Barkin? I'm bloody disgusting.
Oh, that's funny. We went to college with him.
Yeah.
Nice. Shout out to Jay Barks. I've never called him that before, but I'm going to do that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good time at the movies.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
I would try and see it with a big crowd. We were disappointed because our theater wasn't super crowded and our audience was quiet.
Yeah, we would get the nervous laughter after scary parts of like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted people screaming.
Yeah, we didn't really.
We might have gone to too much of an upscale theater for it.
I know.
Yeah, we should go to the cheaper theater and get.
The trailer does not spoil the best parts of the movie. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, I still avoid trailers as a rule.
Yeah,
but
in you'll still like. There's plenty that like a lot of things I was not expecting.
Yeah. I loved it. Go see it.
I loved it so much. I want to see it
If you like horror
again.
movies, definitely go see it. Thanks Matt
Matt.
Taves. Yeah, have a good night, Matt. We're on our way out too because it's 11:20 and I actually have work to do tonight. So.
I'm still like wondering because I really want to cosplay new Pennywise.
Oh, yeah.
But he's so fucking scary
Yeah.
that I'm like, ugh. People are gonna like hit me. People don't like clowns very much. I was never afraid of clowns. Like clowns aren't on my list of scary things.
I'd be more afraid. My mom had weird porcelain dolls, and they were creepier to me than clowns. But like Chucky doesn't scare me.
My neighbor growing up was a clown, so maybe that's why I'm not as freaked out.
Do you just sit around and?
No, like that
clown?
was like his side
profession?
job. Yeah,
Oh.
like his job was being a clown. He was Caboose the clown. And he was cool.
Clowns
like,
are people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
All right,
was
guys.
just like a dad. He was nice.
Thank you for tuning in. I know it's late, especially for you East Coast people. Yeah, this video is just going to live on the channel, so anyone can come in and watch this over hour-long review. Maybe I can just take the audio from this and put it on something for people who want to listen to the audio only. What would that be? SoundCloud? Some shit? I don't know. Because it's mostly an audio review that we did. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what's up. Guys, go see this movie. Support good. It's good horror. It's a
just
good
a
horror
well-made
movie.
movie. Like, go see it and support there being just like a good movie that's not like an action summer blockbuster.
If you liked the idea or the story of it, but you were turned off by the miniseries being so old-fashioned and dated, this is perfect for you because it's very much a update to the story. Very different than the miniseries.
Not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
It is intense.
Yeah. You could like sit down on the couch and watch the miniseries, no problem, mostly. I'd say anyone could watch that miniseries and not be affected by it. Not the case here. If you get scared of things,
don't see this.
Don't see it. But if you like to get scared of things, and you like good stuff,
if you hate jump scares, don't see this.
So many jump scares.
It's all jump scares, man.
Yeah.
It's all jump scares, which I hate, but I was able to deal with because the movie itself was so good. But still, I had my ears like plugged the whole time.
I wouldn't consider this a remake or a reboot of the miniseries. It is a different screen adaptation of the book. Yeah. They're two different things.
Exactly how I would put it.
Of the book, yeah. This I don't think this has any tie to the movie at all, other than that one nod to it in the form of old Pennywise. Yeah. As a little Easter egg. All right, guys. Tomorrow, Child's Play 3 comes out. So get pumped for that. Another kill count coming your way tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. And other than that, I don't know. Go see this movie. I want to go straight back to the movies next week to see Mother, if you're down.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah. And then there's lots of stuff. This was the best time I had with previews at a movie in a long time.
That fucking Polaroid preview.
I want to see the Polaroid
Oh, no.
movie.
Do you really?
Yeah. It's not going to be good.
It seems like...
But maybe it'll surprise us.
It seems like Unfriended, where like Unfriended was such a dumb trailer, but I loved that movie.
I loved Unfriended.
It was so fun. We also saw it in an empty theater, and it was a lot of fun. That's a good one.
I wish we had gotten a Happy Death Day trailer though. That comes out October 13th.
Why do I feel like that's been out forever?
Know.
I think maybe because they've been promoting it for a long time.
Yeah, but cool. All right, guys. Y'all take care and keep being good people. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yep.
What's a catchphrase? You'll float too.
You'll float too. That's my Tim Curry.
Good work, baby. Bye.
Bye.